Hello everyone, welcome back. In the previous video, we had discussed about sorting, how to arrange the data in a particular sequence based on our requirement. In this video, we will focus on the concept of filtering. How do we filter the data? Now, what does it mean to filter? To filter is to keep only the data that we need for the analysis in the view, to take the data that is necessary and ignore or remove the rest of the data. So how do we put a limit to the amount of data to be analyzed is what we are going to learn now. Okay. So filter is a method of limiting the amount of data. We can put filters on all the fields in Tableau. We can have filters on dimensions, we can have filters on measures, and we can have filters on date fields. Let's begin with dimension filters. There are many ways in which we can filter the data when we use a dimension. We have some tabs called as the general tab option, the wildcard, condition tab, and there is top. Let's look at this. So let's say this is my data. I'm looking at the profit from various subcategories. All right. Now, I would like to filter this data based on the subcategory dimension. I don't need all of them. Okay, I would like to put some conditions and remove some of them. How to do it? We'll have to take the field whose members are supposed to be eliminated from here, whose members are supposed to be filtered out. We'll have to take that field into the filters shelf. So I took subcategory and dropped it in the filters shelf. Immediately, Tableau has given me this window, which has 4 tabs: general, wildcard, condition, and top. General is simple selection criteria, where you will select what you want and deselect or uncheck what is not necessary. So I am not going to select accessories or appliances or art. So when I uncheck this and apply the filter, look at the change in the background in the graph. Those 3 members which I did not select got removed. Okay, so that's general. You select what you want and you uncheck what you don't need. Then we have wildcard. Here we can give the match value, which could be a single character or a substring or the complete string. And we can use one of the 4 options. Okay, like the name of the subcategory should contain something in it, or should start with certain characters, or should end with certain characters, or should exactly match what is given. So let's say I want only those subcategories which are ending with the character S. And this is not case sensitive. Even if you give a capital S, it will work. So ends with S meaning what? I will get all of these members, but paper will not meet the condition. The wildcard criteria is not met by paper and by storage. They will get eliminated. Let's apply and see. Look at that. So I'm getting only those members which end with S. Let me go to condition tab. Here we can set up a condition. None meaning we are not setting up any condition. We can set up a condition based on a field or by writing a formula also. So if you're familiar with calculated fields, we can even write in a big complex formula here. For now, I will go by field. I want those subcategories which are making a profit of greater than 0. Meaning what? I want those subcategories which are profitable, whose sum of profit is greater than 0. Which means bookcases, which is giving a loss, supplies, and tables should be removed. If I apply this condition, you will notice that loss-making members are gone. Okay. Now let's say I want only the top 3 members meeting all of these conditions. So top is used to set a limit on the number of data points that you see. I'll go ahead and put a limit. I'll say that I want only top, let's say 3 members based on their profit. So what are the top 3 from the graph? Copiers, phones, and binders. If I apply, it is supposed to show me copiers, phones, and binders. The other option that we have here is we can select bottom. So it will show me the bottom 3 members now. Okay, let me apply and show. It will be the other way around. Okay, so let's go back to top 3. Apply. These are the top 3. At any given point of time, if you have any doubt or any confusion or exactly what has been done here, you simply go to the General tab. And on the General tab, you can find the summary box. So the field whose members we are trying to filter out or eliminate is subcategory. Manually, I selected 14 out of the 17 values. I'm asking for those members which end with the character S. And on top of that, they should be profitable, greater than 0 profit. Okay. And I need only top 3 meeting all this criteria. So this and this and this and this, all of them work together. And we got these 3 members meeting all of these conditions set up. Okay, I hope it's clear. So dimension filters, we have so many different options to filter the data based on dimensions. General, where it's a simple selection criteria. Wildcard, where you give the match value and look for what you want from it. Condition tab to set up any type of conditions based on any field. And top, to put a limit on the number of data points. Okay, so this was about dimension filters. Similarly, we can also put filters on measures. Measure filters. So when we talk about measure filters, we have certain options like range of values, at least option, at most option, and we have a special option. We will see these now. Okay. I will recreate the same chart across different subcategories. I'm looking at the profit. Okay. Now, I would like to filter the data over here based on the profit. Okay, based on the profit. So I'm going to take profit into the filters shelf. So when I take profit into the filters shelf, you look at this. Whenever you take a measure into the filters shelf, Tableau gives a pop-up. It's asking us, how do you want to filter on this field profit? I would like to filter based on the sum of profit, because that's what we are looking at in the graph, right? We're looking at the sum of profit. It will make more sense to filter it based on the sum of profit. And when I click on next, it is going to show me the complete range of values that I'm dealing with. So the least profit is a loss of 17,725, which is coming from tables. And the highest value, highest profit per subcategory. You see, Tableau is intelligently identifying what are the members on the chart, and accordingly it has populated the range. Highest profit is a profit of 55,000 coming from copiers. This is the complete range. Now I can use this slider and fix the range. Let's say I want those members whose profit is in this range. Let's say using the slider, you're not able to precisely set a value. You can definitely type it in. I want those members whose profit is in the range of 5,000 to, let's say, 30,000. If I apply, you can see the members. You can see none of these members have a profit of less than 5,000. Everything more than 5,000. And nothing is going beyond 30,000. I mean, not even beyond 27 here. Maybe the next value is pretty high. Okay. The other option we have is at least. At least is where we mention the minimum value, and the highest value comes from the chart, the way you create the chart. So I want those members which are making a profit of at least 20,000. Whatever could be the higher end. I don't know about that. Minimum 20,000. Very, very interesting feature and helpful feature. Let's say you have to identify, in this case, subcategories, making a profit of at least 20,000. Meaning what? 20,000 and above that. Then when we do this, it's done. Let's say the utmost option, you might have guessed by now, right? It's the opposite of at least. So under at least, if I was able to specify the minimum value, here I will be giving the maximum or the highest. I need the list of subcategories making a profit of at most 20,000. Means maximum 20. I'm not interested in products which are going beyond 20,000. Up to 20, up to that value. So it's going to give me the rest of the members. You see? All right. So range is where you get to specify both the begin and the end. At least is where you get to specify the minimum value. At most is where you get to specify the higher end value, maximum. We'll talk about special. Now, whatever, I'm putting range of values here, right? I'm going to take range of values and I'll not change the range. I'll just click on OK. Whether it is a dimension or a measure or a date, you can make the filter an interactive filter by simply showing the filter. So when I go to that profit pill and select the option to show the filter, the complete range of values will appear on the right side, as you can see here. Okay, this is the range of values I'm working with. Now, end users also will be able to see this. They will be able to see this and they will be able to interact with the chart through that filter. They will be able to set the range and even slide it like that. Okay, so you're making the graph interactive, not just putting a filter. You're giving the ability to your end users to work with that filter and get the desired output. Let's talk about the special option that we have under measure filters. I will use a different data source here. A very tiny data source that I created simply to explain this concept. Okay. What's the name? I think this one. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Here I have a list of departments and we can see the profit from each department. Department A is into loss, a loss of $100, let's say. B is giving us profit. E is a no profit, no loss situation, 0. And F is profitable. But C and D, you can notice, are nulls. Null meaning nothing has been entered in that column for them. Okay. It's not profit. It's not loss. It is not 0. It is just nothing. It's left blank. Let's assume that these two departments do not deal with money at all. They don't deal in monetary transactions. Therefore, there is no profit entry at all. Now, I need to create a report showing the list of departments and their profits. However, I'm asked to display only those departments with not null values, meaning those departments which have an entry in the profit column. I should not display nulls. How do I specifically target nulls and remove that from the chart? Okay, so I will take profit into the filters shelf. Based on the sum of profit, I'm going to filter the data. And here the special option comes in handy. Very, very useful feature. Right now it is showing all the values. Nulls, non-nulls combined. If I say I want only non-null, let's apply and see. You see? C and D got eliminated. They got filtered out because they were holding null profit. Now, if I have to create a report with the list of departments which are not dealing with money and thereby they don't have an entry in the profit column, in that case, I'll have to choose null values. It will give me the other two. If I go with all, I will get everything. Okay, here I'll go with non-null. I'm not interested in nulls. So I'm going to remove nulls by selecting the non-null values as my option. Job done. Okay, it's that easy to deal with nulls. All right, so that was about measure filters. Let's now talk about date filters. How do we put a filter on date? We have a lot of options here. Okay, so let's see that. I'll go back to sample superstore. Here's a report where I'll be looking at the profit from different years, and I've drilled down to quarter level. This is a discrete report. However, we have year and then we have included quarter. So under each year, data for various quarters is coming up. I'll also turn on the mark labels. Now I would like to filter this data using the date field, right? So I'll have to take the date field into the filters shelf. Now this also gives us a pop-up. It's basically asking us, how do you want to filter on the date field? Do you want to filter based on years, quarters, months, days, combination of month and year, month, day and year? We have a lot of options. I would like to filter by year, suppose. Next. It's showing me the list of years. I'll just click on OK. I'm not doing anything here. I'm going to make it an interactive filter. Then from here, the end users can select whatever years they might be interested in. So you're making it an interactive filter. This is like a discrete filter. Select what you want and deselect what is not required. Like that, we can have multiple filters. Okay, we can have multiple fields in the filter shelf. We can have multiple occurrences of dates, each at a different level. Suppose I would like to filter by quarter. So these are the list of quarters, which I'm going to show. Here are the quarters. Now I can choose whichever quarters data I might want to see. All right, pretty simple and straightforward. But we have other options. I'm going to clear the filter. How do you clear the filter? You can simply drag the pill out or click on the drop-down icon of that pill and select the option to clear the filter. Either way, it will do the same. Now I'm going to take that into the filters shelf and I will filter based on the range of dates. Range of dates will give us the complete range of dates that we are dealing with. So in this version of Superstore that I'm using, I have data from 3rd Jan 2014 up to 30th December 2017. Okay, and now by using the slider, I can pick up any date of my choice. Both begin and end can be modified. Let's say some person took over the company on 1st April 2014, and that person stepped down on 31st July 2016. I would like to know about the performance of the business during this tenure. Okay, in this time period, what was the performance like? What were the profits like? So if I apply, you can notice like this. It dipped down a lot before the person left, right? That way. So range is where you can specify both the begin and the end values. Then we have an option called as starting date, where you can specify the begin value and the end value comes from the data source, just like the at least option in measure filter. So let's say I want to look at the performance of the business from 1st of March 2016 to till date, whatever is the latest data that we have. So if I apply, you see, from a certain date to whatever could be the highest possible date in the data source. Ending date is the opposite of that. From the beginning, from the day of establishment where we have the first entry made into the data source to whatever date is mentioned over here. Okay, so for this time period, it's going to show me the performance of the business. Look at that. Special is again, whether you want to see null dates or non-null dates or all. Here we don't have any null dates, so everything is non-null. I'll go back to range of dates and I'm going to simply click on OK and show this filter. Users will be able to use this slider and they can adjust the date range, look at the information for that range of dates and also move the slider around. Very interesting option. Okay. And if the end users are not able to precisely select a date, they can click on the date and they will get the calendar picker, from where they can pick up a date of their choice and look at the data. All right. So this is how you can filter based on the date fields. So I hope you all understood date filters. And we also saw that we can create interactive filters. Okay, let's just proceed. Next is context filters. Okay, this is also very special, very interesting, and very useful. But I think I'll show you an example related to context filter on a dashboard. That would be better and easier to understand. Okay, so we'll talk about context filters in the next video, where we will also talk about dashboards. All right. So what we learned in this video is we understood about dimension filters, measure filters, and date filters. And I'll cover context filters in the next video. Thank you so much. I hope it was informative, and I hope you're learning something new with every video that you watch. And most importantly, I hope you're all practicing. Okay, if you haven't started practicing yet, then please do start it right away. Please do start practicing. Thank you.